Hey, everybody, welcome into Honor the Land, presented by FanDuel on the Big Play Sports Network. Pat McGuire, Jack O'Rourke, Chef Zay, as always, here on Honor the Land. Guys, we've got a lot to talk about today as we've got a post-Super Bowl edition here of Honor the Land. Guys, how are we feeling this morning?
Good. We had a great morning. I think everyone here got some Starbucks on the way in, so we're all kind of fired up. Yeah, got that me espresso there, courtesy of Sabrina. Right. So yeah, we got a great show for you. I mean, we got Cavs, we got a Super Bowl that was pretty boring in my opinion, but we had a halftime show to talk about. We got everything to talk about, man.
Yeah, Zay, the Cleveland Browns Super Bowl campaign starts today, I do believe. It actually started on Monday, but as far as our purposes, the 2026-2027 Cleveland Browns Super Bowl season starts right now.
Well, if you want to pull up the logo,
I made
a video on it the other day. You know how the past, I think it's 6 years that the logo has been out. There has been a Super Bowl color from the logo. So you know me.
Like a team color.
A team color. Yep. So you know me. Any chance there is, I'm going to spin it to the Browns way. And I found two ways that we could spin it in our
there's not orange in it.
Put on your
there's orange. There's orange in it. Not only is there orange in it, but right here
on this bad boy.
On the good shores, right? We're here at Berkshire. You know, everybody keeps saying that's an ocean, but, you know, correct me if I'm wrong.
A little too much pollution to be an ocean.
Right before you drive on 55th when there's bad weather,
marginal.
It looks like there's, like, waves smacking, right?
Yeah.
Aren't those the 55th waves from Lake Erie?
Yeah, they could be.
I'm almost certain. And then if you look up at the top, if you go on the football, the two colors are sitting right up there under there, and that orange is right up under the football line. All I'm saying is, at the very least, our team made the cut, and we got a shot. So
the script has been released, it seems.
The script is released, at least a crumb of it. So let's turn it into a 5-star meal. Browns have a shot.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to think. I mean, I think we'd be lying to ourselves if we didn't admit that it could also be Duke Tobin turning around the Bengals defense after 10 years. You know, they were orange, but is there anyone else who's orange?
A lot of people in the comments were saying the Dolphins, that looks, I mean, clearly that's where.
I was about to be like, the Dolphins aren't going to the Super Bowl, as if we were like foregone Super Bowl favorites.
I mean, we are.
Yeah, we are.
We got Todd Monken. What are we talking about?
So the crazy part, though, guys, is last year's script, if last year's logo was released with the script, I don't know that we would have had Patriots Seahawks in that Super Bowl. We would have the Chiefs, the Bills, somebody else.
You had
like
the
that.
Seahawks. I wasn't convinced with the Patriots.
Yeah, me either.
Because they did the light blue with that light blue is there's not a light blue.
Was it like a Royals blue kind of?
It was not the Patriots blue.
Definitely not Patriots blue. But you wouldn't have thought that those teams would have been in the Super Bowl as it is, and we kind of saw exactly why. It was 23-9, I believe the final score was, for the Seahawks, taking home the Super Bowl 60 Lombardi Trophy over the Patriots. Zay, your first impressions of that Super Bowl as it was pretty boring.
It showed, my first initial thoughts was, if the Browns find any way to be competent on offense, they have a shot. Because I've mentioned it all throughout this season where it's like you can feel a shift in the NFL where the NFL is starting to go back to old ways, defense and run game. And the two things that dominated the Super Bowl was Kenneth Walker and the defense of the Seattle Seahawks. So you think I'm always comparing it to the Browns. Can you imagine our defense? Like, there was nothing explosive on the offense that you were like, oh man, we can't compete with this. We have a Super Bowl caliber defense. So if the Browns can just figure out something on the offensive side of the ball, and we can weather through a schedule like the Patriots might have had, like imagine a road like that, and then you let the defense go out there and command and control the game, the Browns can position themselves to do some very good things this year. But other than that, in terms of the actual game, that was a snooze fest.
Yeah, and I was going to say too, Zay, just like the way you look at that 2023 Browns season also, like that team just fell apart because of like the crazy amount of defensive injuries that piled up like very late in the year. Like I want to say that was when Mo Hurst was starting. I think he went down in the last couple weeks of the year. I think Delpit went down and did not play in the playoff game, I'm pretty sure. That team didn't have an offense either, you know? Like Nick Chubb got hurt week 2. We brought in Joe Flacco. You had bits and pieces of Deshaun. You had Philip Walker winning NFL football games against the San Francisco 49ers. Like
Philip Walker?
Philip James Walker.
Yeah, get illegal. That's a Rob Watson classic. But like what I'm saying, dude, is like we've done it before and gotten to the playoffs, and that was without even imagine if you bring in like, or even if you can get Schroeder something on the O-line, like if you can just keep this offense like competitive. I don't think you need to score 28 points a game. Like, if you can just get back to like scoring 20 every single week, I think you can win games 20-17, 20-13, 23-17, whatever. Like, they can win close games. Like, there's a real chance, I think, you can flip this thing around to like 8 or 9 wins, sneak in, and then like, hey, once you're in the dance, who knows?
Yeah, and I think one of the things you see too in the NFL these days is like the tie kind of goes to the defense, because good defense nowadays, it seems like it is beating offense. Like for a while there in the early 2010s, it kind of felt like, well, the late 2010s, I should say, with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, those guys. Yeah, it's like the Big 12 where like offense can beat defense, but nowadays defenses are so good and defensive coordinators are so good in this league that it's really difficult to outscore your opponent on a consistent basis. The Patriots finally, it kind of came to a head for the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So I think the Browns could follow that kind of same mold that the Seahawks tried to do.
The Browns have to just put such a hyper focus on offensive weapons this year, which is why it's so intriguing. And, you know, I've been on the record multiple times, and I've been the head of the charge of the A.J. Brown camp. But yesterday, there was a report that came out that said the Dallas Cowboys would entertain a George Pickens trade for a second-round pick. If you're telling me...
tag him?
The initial report before that came out was that they more than likely were going to tag him.
Okay.
But they said that there's interest that they'll entertain second-round picks for him. So if you're telling me you could get a George Pickens for a second, maybe a third...
It's a weapon.
I would love that. Yeah, I mean,
well, dude, you have the quickest 6 of all time if you do that too, because you go in and bring in like a legit premium number 1 who's also I would believe, if not younger, he's probably the same age as Garrett Wilson, right? Who we've talked about a bunch in the past couple of weeks, months. Same thing with like Marv. They're all in that similar age range. Like, and then you could even sit in a spot where, let's say, like Francis Mauigoa goes before 6, right? And like the premium tackle is off the board. You're not going to go with him. Maybe they're like, okay, we don't know about Spencer Fano. He's not the tallest dude in the world. I don't know if he's the guy at 6. You're probably not going Carnell Tate or Tyson there. Everyone's been saying this week, you see it like on every network, like Caleb Downs could be the guy people are thinking about. Why not trade back that? I'm thinking you trade back in that spot then.
Yeah.
If you're not that confident, and you could go get like Proctor at 20 and then like Gooseby at 30 something. You know, like you could go like you could get like tackles number 5 and 6 off the board and receiver 4 off the board at picks like 24, 28, and 33 or something. You know, like I think you could just fix it like that. No,
I think that I'm just double checking the draft picks for the Browns real quick, because I know it's history does like to repeat itself. We have the 6th to 24th, and then we have our own second round pick. So we only have 1 second round pick this year. It definitely feels like it's a trade back.
For sure.
I'm just wondering if this is a double trade back here.
Oh.
And what I mean by that is you can utilize and you can put yourself in a very, very good position depending on how these players fall. And I don't think we'll know until draft night is actually here and they're going through the picks to see where stuff falls. I think they definitely trade back from 6. Now, the double trade back is not going to happen with that 24th pick. I think that could be either a potential pick for the offensive lineman or the trade piece if you want to go get A.J. Brown or Marvin Harris or whatever direction you go with the receiver. But I think you could trade back from 6, wherever that pick goes to. I think that is the pick that they trade back again. So I think the 6th pick is going to get traded twice.
Okay.
You're going to accumulate an extra first next year, and then you'll probably accumulate a second and a third with that second pick that you trade back for. You get to go. Then you could trade for a receiver. You could draft a receiver. Yeah. You could draft multiple linemen. So then you give yourself 2 second-round picks, and you see what they did with Q and Carson Schlesinger last year in those early second-round picks. It seems as if those second-round picks are becoming more valuable, especially in terms of the contract stuff that is being played out through versus I believe it's the first and the early second round and stuff like that. So the Browns this is going to be one of those years where I think Andrew Berry has a lot of different options, and which kind of scares me because it leaves the door open for more possibilities to fail. But if he could just hyper focus on receiver and offensive line, I don't think you can go wrong with that. Don't get cute is my problem.
See, I'm a little bit not even worried, I would say, about him getting cute, but I love the idea of trading back twice because I also think like we're in a spot where there's so many like I mean, obviously there's so many holes that you can just tell the Cleveland Browns, like, okay, your O-line sucks. You got to go figure that out. Like,
but that can be rehauled in free agency.
But no, that can. But like receiver also. But there's also guys like you got to think of like 1 or 2 years down the line because hey, we're not going for Super Bowl this year. We're going for Super Bowl in probably 2 to 3 years, maybe or 3 or 4 years, whatever.
I don't think you have that much time.
But I'm saying like if you look at this next offseason coming up, like a year from now, Delpit and Hickman are both up. So okay, like now you're looking at you're either going to have to extend these safeties or go get one. You maybe have to go get one of their safeties for next year. This year you have. Behind Denzel and Campbell, like Emerson's up, like D tackle, like it's Malik Collins. We still really could use another edge, honestly, besides Miles.
You know
like,
what's mad about the safety thing? We sat here in this room, and I was like, you know who I wouldn't mind from your team? Xavier Watts, and he balled this year.
Wow,
when they took Dylan Gabriel with Xavier Watts sitting right there on the board. That was one of the most upset moments of my whole entire life.
And then I seen the highlights.
First year playing safety in his life. He won the Bronco Nagurski Award as the nation's best defensive player.
That's my thing, too, is like we always talk about Andrew Berry thinking he knows better than everyone else. Everyone knew that pick of Dylan Gabriel was awful at the time. The value you could have gotten for Xavier Watts, and even like you look back to, I'm not really that sold on Dylan Sampson. You could have gotten a lot more value for those guys at that point, too. I understand.
Like Sampson.
I like Sampson too.
I do
but
too, but it's like when you don't have any guards, Pochich is going to be gone next year. You're working on your tackles. So like you just have so many holes where it's like, how do you end up taking 2 quarterbacks and 2 running backs with everything else that the roster is just like in need of?
Yeah. So the thing too, guys, is we're always talking draft as we were talking draft day before, but none of this would really matter until the Browns settle on a quarterback. They've got a lot more quarterback questions to get to. One of those might be in free agency. We'll have to get to that next on Honor the Lamb, presented by FanDuel.
Ever wanted to go to the NBA Finals? Well, now is your chance, courtesy of FanDuel. All you have to do is use your profit boost on an NBA future, and you'll get entered into a shot to win the NBA's Finals trip for 2. NBA futures let you lock in your pick for who you think will go all the way, whether it's a team to win the championship or even a conference title. Visit FanDuel.com/bigplay to get started. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 older and present in Ohio, 21 older and present in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back into Honor the Lamb, presented by FanDuel on the Big Play Sports Network. Pat McGuire, Jack O'Rourke, Chef Zay back here on Honor the Lamb.
Why do you have a Rockies hat on?
We got.
Are you?
I can explain. Do you want me to explain? So you know how like some people are. Some people are like LeBron fans, and they just go like wherever LeBron is. Like it's like if like okay, LeBron's going to LA, like yeah, I'll go get a Lakers jersey. Like I'm a Paul DePodesta guy. You know, like wherever Paul DePodesta is, like that's where.
Did Cliff Lee go to the Rockies?
No, he did not. I think he was a Philly and a Ranger. I want to say.
Who went to the Rockies after they left us?
Nolan Jones.
Yeah, Nolan Jones, Alex Wood, Drew Pomeranz.
Good pull.
I feel like there was
Tyler Freeman via Nolan Jones. That's about it. Yeah.
This is the Paul DePodesta spot. I wonder why he bet the over/under with me on wins this past week, and you lost.
Why did you get him out to Silicon Valley?
For more Drew Pomeranz talk, tune in later. But Jack, as you were saying,
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Paul DePodesta.
No, yeah, I'm a Paul DePodesta guy. That's
you follow him wherever you can go.
Yeah,
honestly, to the Rocky Mountains he goes. But guys, we've got a lot of more questions over there in Berea for the Cleveland Browns at quarterback. Who is it going to be? Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, or there's another name that's been popping up lately. Malik Willis is the hot name in free agency. He's kind of the only name out there in free agency that was really of any value. Do you guys see him, first of all, wanting to come to Cleveland and being a good fit here?
If I'm him, I don't want to be in Cleveland.
Exactly.
If I'm any quarterback this year, I don't want to be in Cleveland. It's crazy as that sounds. If I'm Deshaun and Shedeur, I want to be in Cleveland because those are the only two. I mean, you're gonna get your best. You're gonna get your best opportunity here this year. I think what's interesting about the quarterback room, this year, is we know exactly what Todd Monken wants, and you have 2 of those guys on your roster right now that he values in terms of being able to improvise when the play breaks down. Can you escape the pocket and can you move the feet? Can you move with your feet? Shedeur has proven that, and Deshaun Watson, we know that that's probably his best attribute is escaping the pocket and making plays when the play breaks down. So I feel like when you talk about Malik Willis, he fits that mold perfectly, but where he doesn't fit the mold is the bread. The money just you're gonna force feed that down our throats because it's shiny, it's what we should do, it's the hottest quarterback on the market. But like, if I'm Todd Monken, I'm literally sitting back and looking like and being, I've got 2 quarterbacks at my disposal that I know I can make work right now. So why bring in and again the Dylan Gabriel thing? We don't even know how that really is gonna pan out this year. If he even gonna be on the roster.
Third round pick of the 2, by the way.
The third round pick, a wasted top 100
never...
pick. So I just, as much as I would be on board with Malik Willis, I think they should steer away from it. Just because if you're gonna go Malik Willis, you might as well see what Deshaun Watson can do. Because I think, as much as I get the whole, it's been years since Deshaun was good. Todd Monken values being able to improvise when the play breaks down, and that was probably Deshaun Watson's best attribute.
I mean, you don't even have to explain yourself anymore on saying this guy could be good or that guy could be good because Sam Darnold just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and if you told anyone that 2 years ago, they would looked at you and told you that you were batshit crazy, right?
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
He was seeing ghosts a few years ago.
No, literally.
man.
But see, I think the great point you made too is just like it's not the fit, and like that's one thing I think people like overlook a little bit with free agency is like, it's like, oh yeah, we have like cap space and this guy's out on the market, like, so we're gonna go sign this guy and this guy for the O-line, and we'll bring in this guy at quarterback, then we'll draft Carnell Tate when we're back. And it's like, people have to agree to the contract too. Like they have to agree to come to a 5-13 football team from last. Like, you're not gonna get everyone, first of all. Not everyone's a fit, like Malik Willis, but it's like, we have so much wrong where it's like, why are you trying to figure this out right now? Like, I understand it's like you're not going to have anything until you have your quarterback, but at the same time, like, some people are coming out and saying, like, there's more and more mock drafts where you're seeing Nussmeier fly up into the second round of the Browns. And it's like, okay, why would you do that? Too. Why would you bring in Malik Willis for way more money than he's made in his whole entire career and probably have to make it guaranteed so he comes here in the first place? Like,
100%.
There's just no reason to do these things when you literally have to eat the $80 million of Deshaun. Like, that's just going to have to be on the roster, whether you like it or not. They're not going to cut Dylan either. He's a third-round pick. Like, as much as it sucks, he's going to be here, and they're not going to get rid of Shedeur. Like, you have your 3. Like, I think it's set. As dumb as that sounds.
Yeah, there's been there's been a lot of people saying that the salary cap can't be negotiated as well. There's a lot of misunderstanding about that. But to me, guys, it really screams it's like the Justin Fields contract, where you gave him 2 for $40 for the Steelers, and it just was never a fit.
Like, why did you do that?
I forget. It was like 2 for 20 or 2.
That's what it is. Like,
it was a huge number. Yeah, exactly.
Madden was high enough.
It's just like you don't get to play Madden over here. Like, you can't just stick them in.
It's not a video game.
It's not a video game. You can't just trade for DeAndre Hopkins. Like, you can't just do that stuff and expect it to work out every single time for you. That's what it really feels like to me, is the Justin Fields contract for the Steelers.
With the Brown situation feels exactly like where the Bears were just at last year. Now, the only difference is I'm not trying to compare Shedeur to Caleb Williams. I'm not trying to do that. My point that I'm trying to make is you had your quarterback already that you knew who you were going into the season with. You had your receiver in DJ Moore. The second Ben Johnson came into the organization over there in Chicago, he filled every single hole at the offensive line. He turned over the offensive line completely. And then he used his offensive mind to make it work. He already had DeAndre Swift there. You already got Q. You already got Harold Fannin. You already got I know Judy's gonna ruffle a lot of feathers, a lot of people's names. But you still have a receiver on the roster. You have your 2 quarterbacks on the roster that you know Todd Monken could probably make, and you have an offensive mind in Todd Monken. So you literally have a very, very similar. The only thing in money, you don't have the money that the Bears had last year. They had some buku money, but I'm looking at it like that. It's like, can we snag Linder? Can Todd Monken, if he can finesse Linderbaum this offseason, I think the Browns are going to make a splash because that's the biggest splash that you can make on the offensive line. I think that's when we can really have those Carnell Tate conversations. We can really have the A.J. Brown, George Pickens conversation, because I think as much as I want receiver number 1, I think you have to make O-line a priority. Just because you watched the Chicago Bears go, didn't they have 4 wins last year? Weren't they a 4-win team last year? 5 wins last year?
Yeah.
I mean,
the Patriots went from 4 wins to the Super Bowl. So
get the offensive line sewed up. There's one of the best ones on the roster or in free agency. I'm going back to what Andrew Berry told us at the very first press conference at the end of the year, where he said we'll have ample money to spend come free agency time. Well, if you've got ample money to go spend, go get the best offensive lineman out on the market. Sign him. He's been with Todd Monken.
Yeah, I was going to say one thing I think the Bears did very well, too, and I'm not saying this guy was like the be-all, end-all of why the Bears were where they were, because he wasn't. I think he had like 500 receiving yards, to be honest, but like the principle of the thought. I'm saying they need to hit on a guy like that in the draft this year. Like,
they did.
non-first.
They did last year.
But I'm saying, like, in addition to Fannin, I'm saying, like, you bring in, like, if they can get a receiver in the second, third round or later, because, dude, to me, like, Cedric Tillman might as well be Jimmy Hoffa.
not
Like
him.
he's not
It's
on the
not
map.
him.
Like he's got. But I'm saying like if
It's
they can draft another
007.
receiver.
007.
They
baby.
have that same player already. I don't think
hope.
people are
Well, they're both like the same size. Like they actually are great comps for each other in terms of like what they do on the football field. No, I won't disagree.
I don't think people understand that what they were trying to do with Isaiah Bond last year was a huge tell in how much of an impact he's going to have on the offense.
So you think he's our burden?
I think they realized that they may have struck something with Isaiah Bond. And think about how many times they tried to force feed us Demetric Felton, or they tried to force feed
That
us
era was awful.
Muhammad Massaquoi, Greg Little. They force fed us
Monterio
these
Hardesty.
certain
Yeah, dude.
players that
Duke
they
Johnson.
want, like Duke Johnson. Duke
And I
Johnson
love
looked a little
Duke
bit better.
Johnson,
Duke
yeah.
Johnson worked, but
Yep.
they force fed us him
Yep.
that they wanted him to
gadget
be
guy.
this gadget guy. Isaiah Bond stepped in, and the second Shador Sanders came into the game, 50-yard bomb.
Yep.
They went over the top to Isaiah Bond so many times, and they went across the middle where he probably shouldn't go across the middle, and the ball
Schwartz.
smacked him in the head. Like they tried all these. Anthony Schwartz, great comp there too, but
Oh.
I think Isaiah Bond is literally that one receiver. When you look at other teams, you'd be like, damn, if we just had a guy, like not a big name, but if we just had a guy that could make a play like that, that's Isaiah Bond. So you're good in that
Rashid
department.
Shaheed.
Interesting.
Like a Rashid
So-
Shaheed. He's just like that, in my
Rashid
opinion.
Shaheed he was huge for the Seahawks. Big trade from them from the Saints. But does that change your draft perspective though, Zay? Because we've got a guy, Carnell Tate in the state of Ohio, who's a lot of people want. Jordan Tyson as well, brother of Kev's forward. Jalen Tyson as well. So we'll talk about that because we need some more weapons on the offensive side, as we've been talking about. We're going to get into that next on Honor the Land, presented by FanDuel. Hey everybody, welcome into Honor the Land, presented by FanDuel. Pat McGuire, Jack at Work, and Chef Zay. Guys, we're in the thick of the offseason already. It hasn't
Into the
even
thick of
been
it.
into the thick of
Into
it,
the thick of
truly.
it.
Huh.
It hasn't even been a full week since the Super Bowl, and we're already got mock trades, AJ Brown, George Pickens, and now even draft picks every which way. Zay, we were talking about the Cowboys, potentially the Browns making a potential move. What were your thoughts?
Cowboys get the 6th pick. They're gonna take Caleb Downs, and they get our 2nd round pick, which is the 39th pick. The Browns in return would get pick 12 and pick 20. So that means that they would have 12, 20, and 24, but no early first. I would jump on that so fast. You could call me Hugh Jackson after 0-16. I'd be in Lake Erie right now to do that trade.
Sign me up.
I mean, you can get 2 of the best offensive linemen, and you can get a receiver. You can get 2 of the best receivers and the offensive lineman. You could trade back from 12.
You want to trade back again from 12?
But you could that. I don't think Dallas would do that.
I think they
Do you
would.
think Dallas
I
would
think
do
Jerry
that?
Jones would love to do that for a guy like Caleb Downs, because if they do that, I think that's who they're going up for. I think they're not going up for Francis Mauigoa, like any of these guys up there at the top of the draft, or Carnell Tate, any of those dudes. I think they're going up for or for Caleb Downs.
It makes sense because, like, Jerry, like, he likes to go on his, like, he has his Dallas radio show he does and all that good stuff. Like,
yeah.
he loves a big splash. But, like, I have 2 thoughts on it because, like, one, like, yeah, he goes and rips Eberflus the whole entire year. Like, this defense sucks. Like, we got to fix something in the offseason. Like, what are we gonna do?
Generationally bad, by the way.
No, it was. But,
All
like,
time bad.
in a way, if you're them, so to my understanding, they have 2 first-round picks then, right?
Yeah, with the Jets. Yep,
Wouldn't you almost just use both those picks on 2 defensive guys then if you're the Cowboys?
You'd think
Or
that.
is it the Jerry, hey, I want the headline, give me the big name?
That's where
Let's go
my
take-
angle is.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because the thing is
And we're set up so nice. I mean, because then even if you want to go tackle guard receiver, like there's going to be a good receiver there still. Because
100%.
especially I think like Mekhi Lemon will probably go as the 3rd receiver off the board, I would think. And if that happens, like Zay, if you believe, and I'm with you on this, like if Bond can be that like gadget fast slot dude or whatever, like help out in the slot if Judy's not there, like then you don't need Mekhi Lemon. You're not going to have 2 guys who are 5'8" playing on the field at once. I mean, if Dylan Gabriel's out there 3, so I mean, like they won't do that. So
You
you're going to
gotta-
go with Boston like a big
I mean,
kid.
you also got to
Denzel
remember the Brook Park is
Yeah.
still. You got to remember
Yeah.
Brook Park. You got to remember money. Isaiah Bond is on a 4-year,
I think he's a
3
3-year guaranteed.
Yeah, and it's like what
It's like
$4
4
million
for 4,
dollars.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's literally Wendy's.
this is like they are in prime position. See, here's the only thing that sucks about being a Browns fan and trying to talk hypotheticals and
There's so much
talking playoffs and like all of these things. But like when you think back to some of these, think about the Patriots. Great example. Their quarterback's on a rookie contract. They have a brand new coach. Obviously, their defensive players are already locked up. Majority of the ones that matter are locked up.
Left
And-
tackle on a rookie contract.
and a lot of their players are on those rookie deals. The cornerstone pieces. They're not spending the big money at the quarterback position yet. They're not spending the big money at the running back position yet. The Browns have all of the pieces where 4 years they're gonna have to. Okay, do I want to sign Q? Do I want to sign
So when we enter the dome,
Harold
like
Fannin-
Judkins and Fannin would be on their next contract.
that would
correct?
be their next contract.
Okay.
So obviously
You're still paying Miles, and I want to say Denzel still then though. right?
Denzel's
I don't know if
contract's
Denzel
up
will be
after
here.
next year.
I don't know if Denzel's gonna be here for Brook Park, man.
No, I
I'm
don't
gonna
think-
throw that out here right now.
So you might go corner now, or if you're not going corner
I don't
this
think you go
year,
corner in this draft, but
it's Leonard Moore next year. I'm
Well,
telling you
we
that
keep
right
forgetting
now.
about Martin Emerson.
Yeah,
Martin
Martin
Emerson
Emerson,
is
he
He could be
the
gone
thing,
right
though.
now.
He could be
He could walk
gone.
right now.
I think they re-sign him and maybe move on from Denzel. But
But it's
guys,
also like then that gets me into like the DeJuan Jones thought process of like some people believe in them, but like okay, like am I really gonna trust this person coming off of another season-ending injury to go out and like do you trust DeJuan to play right tackle next year? I don't personally.
That's
do
his
you
natural
trust
position,
Martin
I
to
would.
be cornerback too? I don't.
I mean, DeJuan Jones' natural position is the right
yeah,
side,
I know,
right?
but
yeah,
it's
there's
just
gonna be a
hurt
lot of
so
questions
much.
on the O-line, guys. It's interesting to me though because I think they're gonna go offensive line at 6. Obviously, if they
Yeah,
don't
that's
trade
They're
down,
not going to be at 6.
yeah.
I'm
But
calling
if they trade down though, the Cowboys, as we were mentioning at the beginning of the segment, is if they trade up, I think they're taking Caleb Downs because if you think about it, where the Cowboys stand right now at 12, he's not getting past 10 for the Bengals. That would be an all-time pick for the Bengals at 10 because there's two teams that are horrendous on defense. We heard Phil Taylor talk about it on the Top Dogs show this week. Generational talent is generational talent no matter where you take him. It doesn't matter where you take him. If you think you're getting a generational guy, which I think Jerry Jones and the Bengals might actually as well, both of those teams might think that, I think he's going at 6.
Well, Browns have been known to pass up on generational talents.
Yeah.
They did it last year. They'll probably do it again this year. I think we're in for. I think everything that we're thinking about is not even the direction that they're going. Exactly like what they did with the coaching search. I mean, how many people were on this head coach, this head coach? Oh, it comes down to this guy, and then they went, "Hey, Todd, you're our guy." Like they are so connected that they're disconnected with us.
No, we're like,
you know what I
seriously,
mean?
it's
Like
we've been up here for a half hour. Like we have like
Yeah.
the CSI like whiteboard with all the dots on it connecting
Yeah.
to each other.
And they're
It's
like,
they're
Charlie
just
from
like
It's Always Sunny,
they're just
yeah.
like
We
sipping a
got
beer in Berea right now, just like so. What if we went D tackle again? Like,
Right.
it's just like a totally we're on different levels right now.
For like Ice-T and
I mean, it
Law and
wouldn't
Order.
be a bad philosophy. Like I say it all the time. They're trying to mimic what Howie Roseman did in Philly. Like that's what I see. The way that they operate, because last year it was so we every single week we're like, there's no way they go defense. There's
crazy.
no way they go
It's
defense.
crazy.
Hold my beer, we're going defense twice. You know what I mean? So like, I think that if they got a defensive lineman sitting there that they have graded as a like
I think
that
Peter
trade
Woods
scenario-
could be right there, Pat,
Yeah.
possibly, right?
Could be.
I mean, I could see them going defensive line again. I truly can see it because you look at these past 2 Super Bowls,
crazy.
they won because they could rush 4. They weren't blitzing. They rushed 4 and they got to the quarterback. Miles
if that's-
Garrett with all
If
that
that's the
help
case,
is a
though,
cheat code.
if you trade back to 12, Mesidor's there. I mean, you've got guys who are pretty much plug and play from Miami because he's more of like a
Will he go
fully
that high? Do
developed-
you think?
I think he might.
I
Though.
thought he was more graded like
he's graded lower towards the end of the first round, but I think teams that see him as a ready-made prospect, he's almost like
because
20
he's old as shit.
if
right?
he's not,
Yeah.
he's like 25 years old. Like he's already pretty much ready-made. I think teams might be interested in something along those lines. But guys, we got so much more to talk about. There's so much more in the offseason. We didn't even get to the defensive coordinator interviews just yet. The Browns did hire an offensive coordinator, Travis Switzer. We're going to talk about those coaching changes coming up next on Honor the Land. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into Honor the Land, presented by FanDuel on the Big Play Sports Network. Pat McGuire, Jack O'Rourke, Chef Zay. Guys, we got some more trade talk to get to as well for the Browns. But before we get there, some new coaching hires. They hired a new special teams coordinator. And more importantly, the Browns have hired their first offensive coordinator in the Todd Monken era. Travis Switzer, who was working with Todd Monken over with the Baltimore Ravens, has been hired as the new Browns OC. We've got defensive coordinator interviews still going on in the aftermath of the Jim Schwartz era. Zay, you said this offensive coordinator doesn't move yet at all.
Yeah, no. Todd Monken's calling the plays. I'm done with the whole buying into the whole offensive coordinator stuff. We did it with AVP. We did it with Ken Dorsey. We did it with Tommy Reese. When it's all said and done, whoever's calling the plays, that's where the focus should be. It's Todd Monken's offense. Todd Monken's running the plays. He brought a guy from his offensive staff. So this is more so just an assistant principal to Todd Monken.
So, Jack, before we get to your statement here, do you think Todd Monken would ever in a million years give up play calling
No,
duty?
I'll answer that for
That's
you.
the thing.
No.
That's the thing that I like about this Browns hire. I wasn't huge on Todd Monken as we first started, Jack, but he's not going to be giving up play calling duty to Tommy Rees. That's where we're going to be at with the Cleveland Browns, and I do kind of like
that. To be fair, I like Tommy.
Dude, you are never going to win this one over with Jack O'Rourke. You are never
Oh,
going
I
to
can
get
talk this one out all day.
Tommy
No,
Rees. Yeah, where do you stand
Listen,
on that one?
I
Tommy
watched
Rees,
a whole lot of Tommy Rees play calling in my day. I'm not
Tommy
happy.
Rees was not bad.
No, he was
here.
better than Kevin last year.
Yeah,
No, and
better
I'm a
than-
Kevin guy. I will gladly say
Again,
he was better than
little
Kevin.
brother syndrome. Like better than Kevin is not good, but still.
But I will say though, like I'm for what it is, I like the Switzer hire. Like obviously, like I don't think it's like he's gonna be this like guy who comes in, this guru who's just like will take over play calling and just change the world. Like I don't see that at all. But like when you look at how good Quinshon Judkins was last year, but like still how low those rushing numbers were. Like I think his yards per carry, and again, it's not his fault, obviously. Like he was getting drilled the second he was touched. Like I think he was like under 4 yards per carry. But like when you're looking at this, like, okay, you're gonna have a changing of the guard with the older guards. If it's not this offseason, it's coming real soon. You got to figure out tackles. Like I assume you're either gonna start Whippler or have to go get a new center, right? Like you're like I don't think Pochich is he's gonna be hurt to start the year, right? So
Should
like,
be Linderbaum.
yeah, perfect, right? I mean, I don't know, man. Like I just think bringing in someone who's like worked with an offensive line for an extensive amount of his career, like Switzer has, who worked with their run game, and like I get it, yeah, having Derrick Henry is easier.
Yeah.
But hey, I think we all in Cleveland think that Judkins can be that level of a running back one day.
They
like,
had
towards
great,
the upper
they had
top of the
great run
NFL.
design over there in Baltimore too. Don't forget about that part. As
So
well.
yeah, I mean, if he can work with this new O-line coming in and he's going to help improve the run game and like give Judkins some more holes, like that's probably the compliment you need right now, right?
100% too. And one of the big questions today is, will Joel Bitonio retire? I am leaning that he will retire. Although I said that last offseason, I thought he was going to retire as well. Do you think he'll be back for the Cleveland Browns this coming season?
He has to make a decision pretty soon,
Pretty
right?
soon here, yeah.
there's
He technically, I believe, has till like in the middle of March, but he said he wants to alert the team sooner rather than later, just to be fair.
I don't know. I probably put my bet towards the retire. I just think that if he doesn't retire, that means that there's some kind of enticing plan. There's something there that is like, you know what? I can get on board with that. So that will be, I think that will actually be a lot. It'll probably fly under the radar. I was just like, hey, Joel's back for one more year. But I think if Joel does come back, that's a good sign.
That'd be huge.
Because that means that he's willing to put his body on the line for one more season, for whatever this 1 year plan would be.
That's what I was going to go exactly there too, Zay. Like, I don't think it's going to be some like Myles Garrett grinning ear to ear. Do you know the plan? And he's like, oh, yeah,
exactly.
like we're going to be good. That's why I'm coming back. Like, but I honestly, I was going to say, I think it's a major vote of confidence for Shedeur Sanders if he comes back. That's where my head was set on it because I don't think we're going to go external options like.
Well, you know who's the Shedeur guy? It's
Wyatt
not.
Teller.
It's Wyatt Teller.
And I still think Wyatt Teller is going to be back.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
My
I don't
thing
think so.
was, I thought
I
if
think we'll hear
Kevin
more
was
about that
back.
later.
I thought if Kevin was back, I
Wyatt
thought
Teller?
Teller would be gone.
I can't
Oh,
wait.
I
to
think
get
because he is gone, I'm saying I could see.
we're
I
gonna
can see
get
where-
insight on that.
Yeah, we will
we're gonna get some insight on the whole Wyatt Teller Kevin Stefanski stuff because we got.
That's what I'm saying. If he comes
We got
back,
some stuff
you
in the
know.
works.
If he comes back, you know.
100% too, because they also talked about we talked with Joel Bitonio over at GV Artwork. I mean, this was July or August of last season, before the season. They were so excited for that wide zone offense, the Kevin Stefanski. We're getting back to our roots. We're doing exactly what we want to do. It blew up in your face.
Only if
So,
she was
like,
getting KT Leviston
yeah,
out there.
yeah, and you got KT Leviston out there and
doing
you
his
know,
best.
Yeah, doing his best out there. But moving to another offensive system with Todd Monken, I think someone who has an actually good run game coordinator and run design like Todd Monken did with the Ravens, if you can bring that over to the Cleveland Browns, I think you can do a lot of convincing with guys like Wyatt Teller, with guys like Joel Bitonio. It remains to be seen who else. I mean, Conklin, I'm not sure if you'll see him ever again in a Browns
Do
uniform.
you think he could retire?
I think he honestly should retire. He's had so many
that
concussions.
boy
He's had
making
so
too much money.
Yeah, that is true. But you could
It's
see
also
some new
like, if
faces
you
on
look
that
at
offensive
it-
line. All 5 of those positions could be new faces.
And this is not Jack Conklin's fault, obviously. Like no one wants to get hurt. Like he's an athlete, he's a competitor. Like he wants to be out there as bad as anyone.
I just got to cut you off real quick because it made me think of when I was a kid. You said no one wants to get hurt. There was a time period when I was a kid where I wanted to get hurt. Like, and the only reason I wanted to get hurt, you ever see the kid in school
With the cast
come in
on?
with the cast
Oh,
and the
yeah,
crutches?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then not only did you get to leave class early, but then you had to help her carry your books.
Oh, yeah,
I
goated.
always wanted to be hurt,
no,
bro.
yeah, that was goaded. But you'd
you
have
broke
to
your right
think
wrist,
you'd
you would
have to
have it
think in Berea they treat things a little
Right?
bit differently. You'd hope.
Man.
Like Jack Conklin wants to be out there, but if you look at like the percentage of games that Jack Conklin was in the lineup, and he's only been in Tennessee, correct? That was where he started his career.
I believe so.
All pro.
The amount, yeah, but like the amount of games he played in Tennessee, like I think, and I might fudge these numbers, I could be wrong, but like it was somewhere like up well above 80%, I believe, like games he was active for, and like in Cleveland, just sadly, like it after year 1 or 2, really. I think once he got that second contract in Cleveland, or the first extension in Cleveland, which became a second contract like that, it was just wraps.
One of those things, too, it still blows me away that we're not talking Jed Wills at this point because I thought that man was destined for a 10-year career here in Cleveland, but here we are talking about O-line.
I would have killed to
Yeah,
have
remember
Jedrick Wills
I
last
did, like-
season. I ain't gonna
Would've-
lie.
yeah,
I
mean,
just
shoot.
still don't understand how a professional athlete, and like again, all credit in the world to these guys for going out there and doing what they do. He
But-
came out and was like, "Yeah, I'm just making a business decision." I was still, and I think
That
that's why
was
he's not
the
a roster.
wildest
I think
thing,
that's
too.
why he was. I think that's why he wasn't on a roster this year.
Yeah, I would have to imagine. I mean, Jack Conklin has a bunch of void years in 2028 and 2029. He's under contract for 2027. The cap hit is $5.1 million. I don't know if we'll see him in a Browns uniform, though, guys.
So are the Browns just like the Dodgers of the NFL in the way where we're just gonna like restructure people
Seems
to the
that
end
way.
of time and just like
when we were talking about
straight
Andrew
by.
Berry before, like, and Howie Roseman with the Eagles, doesn't it kind of feel like, so Andrew Berry's identical twin brother, right? Adam Berry, I believe is his name, works for the Eagles. Doesn't it kind of feel like Adam's giving Andrew the homework and being like, just change it up a little bit and like just kind of do
wow.
your own
Wait.
thing?
oh well
brother
then
works
he
for
then,
Philly?
then it was
Yeah,
like
Adam Berry.
Einstein did his
Identical
homework and he was
brother.
like, make sure it doesn't look like you get an A.
Yeah. Make sure it looks like you get a D- on that, but doesn't it feel like he's giving the homework and like just not completely not doing it correctly? But
Eagles Browns Super Bowl.
Eagles
Lock it
Browns
in.
Super Bowl, the Carson Wentz
The
Bowl.
Berry brothers.
The Berry brothers in the Super Bowl. Could you imagine, guys? We got one more segment here on Honor the Land. We're gonna get into a little bit of Cavs because I think there's a new beard in town, if I'm hearing correctly. Over
It
there,
ain't mine.
it ain't yours, Zay. Over there at Rocket Arena. We'll get into that next on Honor the Land. Hey everybody, welcome back into Honor the Land, presented by FanDuel on the Big Play Sports Network. Guys, we were talking about some Honor the Land favorite movies, sports movies in the break, and we got a big discussion to get into right here.
You haven't seen Remember the Titans enough then.
I
Zay-
mean, probably not enough then, I guess.
Zay,
Yeah,
I'll-
but
I'll
I
tell
can
you
give
right
the
now.
whole-
I've never seen Remember the Titans
At all?
at all.
That's wild. We got Sunshine, like Baby There
No.
Ain't No
I wish we could get Max on the
No?
phone right now. We're Nick. We might need a new producer until he.
That's
watches-
the wild sports movie
I got
that I have
homework
not
this weekend.
seen.
Yeah.
No, you have homework. Not this weekend. Today.
Till the show ends,
Tonight.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
are we talking? You've never seen Remember
Never
the
seen
Titans?
it.
Strong Side?
Strong side? Blind side?
How old are you?
I'm about to be 30.
Who's your parents? what are we doing
I'm
here?
not
Bring
even-
it up.
so
I'll
let
bring
me-
it up with Dan and Linda. I'll bring it
So
up.
last time I looked, and no free ads on the show, obviously, but Disney Plus is like $9.
Yeah, I
Never once.
got a friend login. I don't know, but I mean, just
You've
never.
n- okay,
never come
so
across
if you've
it.
never seen Remember the Titans, have you seen?
It's gonna get worse from here.
Have you seen
Miracle.
Hardball?
You've seen Miracle?
Hardball? Or
Keanu
Moneyball?
Reeves.
I haven't seen that movie. Oh wait, no, is that where he's the baseball coach?
Yes.
No, I have seen that movie. I have seen
G
that movie.
baby. Okay.
Do you know G? No, that is like top. Not no spoilers. This is the no spoiler show.
spoiler
Coach
show.
Carter?
I've seen Coach Carter.
Miracle.
Okay.
Yeah, of
I've
course.
never seen Miracle. I'm not. I've
You never seen Miracle?
I've never. I've
It's the
never was
Olympics.
a big hockey guy, a
Yeah,
hockey guy. So I mean,
I'm
that
not a
was
basketball
never-
guy. I've seen Coach Carter.
Yeah, but
Coach Carter's
that's-
great, though.
I never. Hockey was never. I was never.
Not even like Mighty Ducks wasn't cool when you were
Mighty
a kid.
Ducks
I was gonna
my-
say
that
Mighty
was
Ducks
in
was
my
definitely cool when you were a
arsenal.
kid.
But I'm trying to think. What's another classic movie that would get your
Like sports.
like your sport card?
Sandlot. Sandlot.
Sandlot.
You've seen
That's
Sandlot.
a
You've seen
thing.
Sandlot.
Space Jam. Like
Um,
so the ones that I haven't seen are those weird like '90s ones, like Friday Night Lights, like Any Given Sunday. I
You
haven't
seen
seen.
Friday Night Lights.
Never seen it.
I
What?
never.
Never seen
I've
it.
I've probably
What?
seen it, but I've never sat through it and watched it.
No.
But
Interesting.
that's not
I-
Remember the Titans level.
Yeah,
like,
remember the Titans.
For some people, I'm
some
not saying it
people
is
it is.
either, but I'm saying, especially in the southern United States, I think
Especially
that
when
film
you're
is in the same
30.
ilk.
Yeah,
You're 30 and
Yeah,
you've
man.
never seen Remember the
I'm just
Titans.
not a movie guy.
I know. I'm not.
Are you not a
guy
movie
either.
guy? Well, that's just so wrong.
I'm not a
that's
movie
just
guy either,
objectively
but-
a wrong take.
You're a sports guy,
Yeah.
and literally the greatest football movie ever made is Remember the Titans. You've never seen it.
Never seen it.
Have you, have you? Are you giving no respect to The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler?
Ooh,
Not
Longest
the
Yard
Burt
is a
Reynolds.
banger.
The
Longest
That's a
Yard.
OG.
banger.
I don't know if I've ever seen the OG.
I've not seen the
Longest
OG.
Yard. Yeah.
But we're talking
The
about.
Great
Burt
Khali is one of the
Is
security
this-
guards.
remember, we can agree. Well, you can't agree, but
Best
Remember the
football
Titans
movie?
is the best football movie ever made, right?
Um,
Don't give me Rudy.
No, I agree. I'm not. I
Oh.
think Rudy sucks, and I'm a massive Notre Dame
Whoa.
fan. I think Rudy's a bad.
Whoa.
Don't
movie.
give me Rudy.
I also think, and this is a really hot take in Cleveland. I know I just went back on Rudy being bad. I think Draft Day is one of the worst
Oh,
sports movies of all
Never
time.
seen Draft
You
Day.
know what's funny?
That's
Like,
crazy.
How
I've
are
never-
you? Okay,
I've
like
never
that
seen
one.
Draft
You're
Day.
from
I've
Cleveland.
never
You're
watched
from
it.
Cleveland.
But I never
You seen Major
watched it.
League?
Yeah, tons.
You know what? See, here's my problem when it comes to
Have
movies.
you seen Major League?
Oh yeah, of course. Here's my. I used to have. It's funny enough. I used to go to Euclid High School, and there was a teacher
Go Panthers.
who was a. I think he did social studies, and he looked exactly like the guy who gets stuck in the picture in the cage. Isn't that Major League where he's chewing the he's like, "Hey, get out of here." He's got the red hair.
I
Or
think
is that,
so.
That's
I
not
think
Major,
that's Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the
or
year.
maybe that is Rookie of the Year.
Whereas like
I was-
Henry Rowengartner, like there's like the little, he's like a
Oh.
kid pitcher,
It
and
could
then
be-
like
it could
the
be.
manager keeps
That's a
saying like Gardenhoser, like he just
Yeah,
never says his
'cause
name
Major
right.
League
Yeah.
is the Major League is the big balls.
Yeah, that's the two.
Yeah, no, that's the.
Major League.
Yeah.
He's like
He's
you
in the
have
hospital.
no
Yeah, yeah.
marbles. And he's
Marbles.
like marbles.
You have
and
no
then,
marbles.
Then
Yeah,
Pedro
yeah, yeah.
Serrano just starts doing it back to
I
him.
got no marbles. Man.
That was the OG 6-7.
That was
back in Major League 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, kids here
94.
heard it first. Yep.
I'm just blown away. If we do our next show and you haven't watched,
I'll watch it
Remember
this
the
weekend
Titans,
or by the time we record the next show. I
that
promise.
is so disappointing. That is
Like Coach Boone and the fellas never spoke to you.
no. Man.
That's wild.
I
I have heard one thing about, and not to disparage Remember the Titans, I think it's a great movie,
Sure.
even better message, some amazing actors in the film. I think in real life they just like laid the wood on everyone.
Oh.
Like I think every single game was a blowout, and in the movie, I think specifically their rivalry game and the championship, they
Oh,
make
yeah.
them a lot closer than
Yeah,
they
yeah,
were.
I
But like
remember that.
I bet.
I think they went like scorched earth, 30 balled everyone.
Where do we stand on Hoosiers?
See? Okay,
I didn't watch
that's
that
my
movie.
hand up.
Okay.
I know it's Jimmy Chitwood. I know they
Okay,
got maroon
okay.
jerseys and gold shorts. I know there's a drunk guy in the stands.
Yeah.
I know the coach puts on a great performance. Have never
Gene
seen
Hackman?
Hoosiers.
So you didn't get my
Gene
Gary
Hackman.
Bertier reference
Uh-uh.
last. Oh,
No,
you-
I did. I
dude,
tweeted it out.
you-
Yeah, no,
I
I
was
got it.
smiling
Yeah.
and
But you
buddy.
didn't know Gary. Oh my god, this is a
That
Truth
is
comes
like
out
up
on
there,
Honor
that's
the
like-
Land, dude.
That's
The
like
truth
Rob
comes out.
Stark level for the people at home.
this is so heartbreaking to know.
It's
Like
real.
there's like certain movies, like usually it's the when you're in the black community, it's usually like if you've never seen Friday, if you've never seen certain movies,
Yeah.
they say quote unquote you lose your black card.
Mhm.
This is like losing
Sports
your
card?
sports
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
You've never seen Remember
The hard part
Titans.
is like I willingly acknowledge that one though too.
But see, here's the problem that I have with certain movies
With me,
that are
specifically.
older. See, like I couldn't imagine being an adult watching Harry Potter now because it wouldn't
Sure.
have that same hit effect
Yeah.
as when I was a kid. Growing up and watching Remember the Titans as a kid while playing sports, it hit on such a different level because of the message behind it and all of the things that, like, I don't know what it would be like being a 30-year-old and watching an iconic movie like Remember the Titans for the first time. Like, do you think he's gonna get that same feel as when you're an 8-9-year-old boy and you're watching Left Side, like, oh, love, peace, sunshine,
No,
you,
like,
Lamont
it's-
ain't gonna come back.
Man.
No, he's not, and that's the sad thing. Like, if you ever think about like your favorite TV show, and like you'll see like a edit on the internet, and at the blue comments, like the things I would do to go back and erase my mind and watch this again for the
Yeah.
first time. Like, I think it works for some shows still, but like for more like kiddish movies, I don't think. Even if Remember the Titans has a better overarching message and stuff like that, like I don't think it'll hit the same. But like I'm the same way. I still think. I probably quote Miracles somewhere between 50 and 100 times a week
Yeah,
without
that's the
even
thing. Is
thinking
like,
about it.
Yeah, on the bus down to Columbus to Nationwide Arena, the Wildcats were
Oh my
watching. They were
God,
watching that movie. Let's put it that way. But guys, to put a button on the segment, like let's go with our top 3 favorite sports movies. We got to do from the top to the bottom. I think I'll start with 3.
Are we
Maybe-
drafting?
I think we're gonna draft. We're gonna do a quick
Okay.
little draft here.
Well, this
I
is-
think I'm gonna go
Oh no, Google.
at number 3. I'll go with Space Jam for me because
Is
Space
that your
Jam,
first pick?
That's my third pick. Going 3, 2, 1.
Oh, so we're not drafting.
I mean, we can if you want to.
Well,
but
I'm saying, are we drafting by like we're all going 1, 2, 3, or are we drafting like 1, 1, 1,
I think
2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3?
I think let's just do our top 3 movies in no particular order.
Okay,
I go Space Jam, Sandlot, and Major League for me.
it's a list.
That is a list.
That is
Out of all of the
that
lists
is
of
one
all
of the
time.
lists in the history of 100.
Out of all of the lists of all time, those are my 3 movies: Space Jam, Sandlot, Major League.
Space Jam song though, slept on.
Of course, Francisco Lindor's walk up. Come
Oh,
on, baby.
2016.
Come on.
This is I
Man.
don't this would have to like I feel like I'm gonna say a list and then like it's not
It's
gonna
subject
be
to
the
change.
real
Yeah,
list
yeah.
because it could change. But I think we should pick one from each sport.
Oh,
Okay.
I think that,
I like that.
As
would
a
be
group, should we do a Mount Rushmore maybe?
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
just
I
do a
like
Mount
it.
Rushmore. Take one from the 4
Well,
major sports.
Interesting.
I think my basketball movie's not gonna cut it.
Oh, yeah, because basketball has.
See, everyone give their everyone
Because
give
my
four.
basketball
Yeah.
movie
Yeah.
is a little. I'm going back to the kid era, and I'm just
Ooh.
like
okay.
iconic.
Yeah.
Because like I have a hot take baseball one too. I'm the same way where my list would be a bit different. Do you want me to go? I can rip mine quick.
Go for it.
Football, sentimental value just from watching it more as a kid. I think Longest Yard is my favorite.
Yeah,
Nothing
classic.
against Remember the Titans being a great movie.
That scene where they're doing, have you ever seen the rain and they're running through the rain?
Oh,
and
yeah,
they're-
so
Woo,
dope.
all time.
Oh, you're talking about
all-
original Longest Yard, or
That's
Adam
I'm talking about the
Sandler?
Adam Sandler.
That's the new one, yep.
Yeah, the new
You
new
just
one.
mad because I won't kiss you because your breast smells like
Yeah,
cancer chocolate.
The cheerleaders too. That movie's
Bell
so
Cracker
funny.
Bush scene.
No, that's a good one.
Paul, you want to see our cheer we've been working for
No,
you?
dude, okay.
Give me.
Dude, all right, baseball. My baseball one. It's just off of one scene, the aura of a scene. I want to say Major League, but I'm sure you guys will cover it. Have you guys seen Little Big League when the little kid manages the Minnesota Twins in the 90s?
Nope.
There's this one scene where like the team turns the season around to run around Sue by like that Dion guy from the 50s. Banger. Hockey for sure, miracle. Not even
course,
close.
easy.
And my basketball. Yeah, probably Space Jam. I think I'm probably
Wow.
a Space Jam guy.
Yeah,
I
okay.
feel like Space Jam.
See, that one has a
And a hot
sentimental for
take.
me.
Space Jam 2 sucked.
Oh.
Baseball or that's just the cop out answer.
Oh,
right?
interesting.
I feel like
We, I'll tell you what, the McGuire household, my brother was not that into sports growing up. We rented Space Jam from Family Video every third day. We were in Blockbuster, we were in Family Video renting Space Jam.
Space
One
Jam
up
was
on
a
Triscuit.
banger,
That
though.
thing, yeah, up on
Yeah,
Triscuit.
Family Video.
That thing lived at my house.
All right, we're gonna go. Remember the Titans for the football.
Bang.
It's not even a close second. Baseball, honorable mention for not rookie of the year, the rookie.
That's a great one.
The
That's
rookie,
a great
great
pick.
movie.
Ooh,
He's
yeah.
a little
Is it
bit
Dennis
old,
Quaid, I think?
retired player.
Dennis Quaid's in Major League too, isn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's one of the fans, I think.
That would make sense. Yeah, Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, but that movie,
That movie
I remember
slaps,
being a
dude.
kid watching that movie, and I was this was back when I was playing baseball, and whenever I wanted to pitch, I would always do that little. He used to do this thing where he got mad
Yeah, dude.
to build
I don't
up
think
his
I've seen
steam.
this movie.
It's a
It's
good
a good
one.
one,
It's
man.
a good one.
Is
It's
this the one where like
underrated.
there's
Yeah.
like the
He's a high
he's
school
facing
coach.
like
Yeah.
he's facing like the top. Oh, okay, I'm thinking of a different
So
one.
he-
I'm thinking. Have you seen? Is it $1 Million Curveball? Is that a movie?
Oh,
Could be, but he's a high
Okay.
school coach, and his team is like, "Coach, you still got it, man." He's like, "How about this? If you do this, you got to go try out for a team." They end up winning the state championship
Yeah.
or something like that. He ends up trying out, makes it back into the big leagues as this older guy, and good movie. But I think Sandlot.
Yeah.
You got to go there for the
I
baseball.
also think it's just as a unit, as a triumvirate here,
Per
the
capita.
three
I think
of
that's
us.
Mount Rushmore, right? It
Oh,
cracks the
yeah.
Mount Rushmore of sports movies.
I'm just saying. I think we'd be remiss to not at least throw out Angels in the Outfield.
I was gonna say
It's
Angels
an
in the
honorable
Outfield
mention.
too.
Yeah,
It's
gotta
just
be
not.
out there.
It's just like I'm looking at it from if it's on TV, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
Angels on the
I'm not
Outfield is on
watching
TV,
it. I'm not watching it. No.
I'm not gonna sit and watch it. But if Sandlot's on, chances
Yeah.
are there's
Yeah.
always
dude,
gonna
you
be a
have
part
to.
of the
The
movie.
Great Bambino. The
I
Southern
mean,
Swatch.
you can go
Colossus
on
the
the
Cloud.
pool scene. You can go on the dog scene. You
Uh-huh.
can go on the
Wendy
4th of
Peppercorn,
July
everyone's first
scene.
crush.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
there's so many scenes that you can go on a Sandlot and instantly be hooked.
Yep.
Angels on the Outfield, it's one of those things where you got to watch the whole movie.
It's just like you either see him like helping out the one outfielder or you don't.
Now
Like,
here-
it's just like it's a one scene. It's
You
like
see the
Top
Angel
Thrill
in
dragster.
the
You go up and down one time. There's only one thing there for
But
you.
now I'm about to throw you off for a loop because
Ooh.
no one's gonna have this movie for basketball.
What if it's in my duffel?
No one's gonna have this movie, and I can guarantee you. And I don't know why I was just thinking about this movie the other day, but like Mike,
Dude.
like
I
Mike,
haven't seen it. I haven't
Oh
seen
my
it.
God. Like
sorry.
Mike is such an absolute
I haven't
classic,
seen it.
dude. I did not see you going there. Loved that fucking
like
movie.
Mike is
Love that
such an
movie, dude.
iconic movie for so many. So I'm
So
a
many
big
reasons.
being an only child. You kind of have this imagination thing to where you like to mimic certain movies, and I was a big guy where like for
Oh,
instance,
Bow Wow.
Yes, sir.
it's
Lil Bow Wow.
classic. He's
Right.
an orphan.
London Tipton's in the movie too. I see.
It's
Dude,
a
really?
bang.
Yeah.
That's your homework. You got to remember the Titans.
Yeah, dude.
You got like Mike.
Okay.
Like Mike is
You're
such
gonna
a good
love
movie.
it, dude.
He has to get he has these shoes and they've got magical powers because they were MJ's shoes when he was a kid. Michael
great, dude.
Jordan. So just watch it. It's a great movie. But like Mike brings back so much nostalgia, and as much flack as Bow Wow gets, people see older Bow Wow. Bow Wow was an icon when I was a kid, and that movie was probably in my opinion, one of Bow Wow's best work.
And you got to
Oh,
think
easily.
too, like when you're talking like ranking the music videos of all time, like I'm sure there's some Taylor Swift ones you got to throw in there. You got like Tom Petty running down a dream. And you are throwing the basketball Bow Wow music video right up
Basketball
there.
is my favorite
That's in
sport.
there.
And that's
the
from
way
that
they
movie.
dribble.
Is it?
That's where the song
Okay.
came
Okay.
from.
That's
Now I'm
crazy,
learning.
man.
Now I'm learning.
Yeah.
And they play that at regular old basketball games now. But guys, I think we got.
I did
really
actually.
Good.
It's funny. I love that movie so much. My best friend, who was we were in third or fourth grade at the time. He actually made it to the NBA. Jakar Sampson, you can check him out. He played for the Sixers and a couple other teams. We did a song from that movie on the talent show.
Oh, really?
So I have the
dope.
video. We had
That's
matching
awesome.
Allen Iverson jerseys. We
Yeah,
had the
dude.
headbands,
The headband.
wristbands,
The black one?
the chains, the black one. Yep,
Was your
the
hair
black
long enough for
jersey.
braids at that point?
It was not. My mom kept my hair cut every 2
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
I hated it. But yeah, talent show. We was Lil Bow Wow.
Lil
It
Bow
just
Wow.
don't know. Like,
Man.
it was good times, man. So be your
Jeez,
homework
man.
this weekend.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got some homework for the weekend, like a really good Mount Rushmore of movies there, fellas. One of the ones that we never really got to, didn't mention really, was draft day because the Browns are always drafting, so it doesn't really feel like feels like more of a documentary sometimes.
We
than
lived draft day.
It's
in
just
real
like
life.
We literally live draft day here in
It's
Cleveland.
like a
but-
horror. It's kind of like watching like those like World War II movies where you're like, damn, like that had to happen in our world at one point in time. Like
Yeah.
that's what it is, but it's still going on.
Yeah, so draft day is more of a documentary. We've got a lot more drafts to talk about here on Honor the Land. We'll be right back on the Big Play Sports Network. Hey everybody, welcome back into Honor the Land, presented by FanDuel on the Big Play Sports Network. Pat McGuire, Jack O'Rourke, Chef Zay, guys. James Harden made his home debut yesterday. I believe that was 2 days ago for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've got a little bit of a winning streak going on. They had a good win on the road. What happened here for the fellas?
We need to clip that and replay it. Did this man just shoot with two hands?
No, I had the ball
God.
behind. Well, I'm
Look
right-handed.
at wait,
I'm
do you see
right-handed
the
and he's
form?
left-handed.
Do the form again.
Like
this
that.
is not
Like-
no.
I'm right-handed.
No, you.
My hands are too small to hold a basketball.
So
look
you-
at me. Look at my freaking hands.
My hands are Burger King hands, and this man just overlapped his hand.
I need to get some support.
What in the Al Horford was that?
I better see this, as a
Dude, like
clip
Sean,
on Big
Sean
Play.
Marion. Like you
Sean
ever saw that
Marion.
three? Like the
Yeah.
Bro,
dude.
that is not Sean Marion. That is white kid picked last in every function if I've ever seen it
Dude,
in my
there was
life.
there was one time. I'm not even kidding about this. I didn't go Mr. Irrelevant in the draft for recess
You
football
had
in like
to.
5th grade. Oh, it was I still
Basketball,
think
you
about
did.
it.
Certainly.
I didn't even pick me.
Basketball,
I just-
you were
I just
you were
watched.
stats. You were doing stats because with
Yeah.
Oh,
that
I was
form,
just
there
like-
was no. If I seen you,
You know how
shoot
the
like
kicker's
that,
like on the
Okay.
sidelines by himself, just like perfecting his form and going. Like that was just like me. I just like shooting free throws.
Oof.
Five.
I know
Man.
if I see that form in the gym, I'm turning the other way and walking.
Yeah.
out.
Who would you guess my NBA player comp is?
Nobody, no one in the NBA has
Ooh,
that
man.
form. That's like
it's like young
remember
Lonzo.
when
like
Lonzo
the
Ball
like the
came
bring it
in?
around. That's what I'm saying. It's the
Lonzo
bring
came,
it
but
around.
that's not
Oh,
even
yeah.
Lonzo. I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say because
Oh,
that
no.
might get me canceled.
Oh no.
Man.
So let's not go there.
Unreal though, guys. The Cavs looking good since they've returned from that West Coast trip. They were a 5-6 game trip over there on the West Coast. They returned back home and beat the Wizards pretty handily. James Harden finally,
That team's bad.
dude, they are so bad. But the Cavs are really rolling at this point, guys. As they go into the All-Star break, where are we standing here with our Cleveland Cavaliers?
Right where we want to be. Right where we want to be. Evan Mobley's gonna be coming back. That's gonna look fun.
Max Strus.
Struce is still a clip. I just think that it's weird. I want to see the honeymoon stays be gone though. Like I want to see
That's the beauty of the deadline,
A
though. There might
li-
not need to be one.
there might not be one, and I think what makes it interesting. You've got James Harden talked about it in his presser after the game, where he talked about how valuable it is for Donovan Mitchell to be a superstar and willing to let James Harden do what he want to do. Like having a passive Donovan Mitchell is so valuable because when you have superstars on your team, like you've seen it with the LeBron, you've seen it with Kyrie, having a Kyrie. If Kyrie would have been able to put his ego to the side, we win 2-3 more rings if you keep that core together
all
with
still
LeBron
here.
and Kyrie. They're all probably still here. And you have that with Donovan. Donovan's okay with, like he said in the fourth quarter, there was a point where Donovan was just giving James the ball and was like, just go ahead and do what you were. And I think
That
that's
doesn't
such a
happen with Darius
mental,
Garland.
that's such a valuable asset to have in terms of mental clarity, because if I'm Dom, I know now for the past 2 years, it was like, damn, Darius Garland, I got to give 40 tonight. I got to go 40. I mean, it was back-to-back nights. I'm giving 40, playing 45, 42 minutes per
Mhm.
night. Like, Don can be like, you know what? I don't got to do anything this quarter because I know Harden can run the offense. And that is such a valuable asset to have. They are right where they want to be.
And yeah, it's just like back in the olden days when you just have like Chris Paul go out there for like 8 or 9 minutes and just have Harden take a break, then they'd flip off. And like you could see that down the stretch run, especially. But I don't know, just watching that game, that first home game back, like that was the most electric that place has been in a long time. And I know we had a lot of fun last year and like that crazy win streak to start the year. That's what I'm saying, dude. But like, if you can keep him going, like Struz comes back, like he's got a clip, like you said, like he'll help out at the 3 more. Like you're kind of getting that like Warriors feel back that you had a bit from last year when like Ty Jerome was coming off the bench, you're doing the Avalanches. Like it's just also, it's so cool. Like everyone knows the classic phrase, like hungry dogs run faster, right? Like James Harden's at that point where he's 36. This is probably his last chance really to get it done this year or next year if he opts back in on a player extension or wherever he chooses to go. But like he's running out of time. Like, and honestly now, as much as we hate to say it in Cleveland, like Donovan Mitchell's never been to a conference finals. Like time's running fast on his national reputation. I'm not saying like he's going to be good. People are going to start hating him, but like at a certain point, it's going to be, hey, this guy can't even get to the conference finals. And he's 30 now, you know, like these are guys who need to win and they would need to win now. And like we haven't had that. Even the last year was still like these guys are young and fun and we got a couple more years of them. As disappointing as it was, like you felt like, okay, we got time. Like this is like a strictly like when LeBron was here, this is a win now. And that just it raises the stakes, but it makes it that much more fun.
It's crazy that I'm about to say what I'm about to say, but obviously this team is only going to go as far as Donovan Mitchell takes you, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing from Jared Allen, like this past game, for instance, if you can get that Jared Allen, you are going to put yourself in a very good position to go win a championship. And I'm going back to the mentality, not to play on the court, because we've seen Jared Allen have stretches where he went 20-10 for 20 games in a row, or whatever that stretch was last year. But what I ain't never really seen was Jared Allen have that dog, because I'm used to Brights being too light tail between the legs, Jared Allen. He had that play where he was boxing out and he got called for a loose ball foul. And he goes, what the was that? And picked up the tee. He got a tee this past game.
Good.
I'm like, excuse me, Jared, where did this come from? I don't know if that's James Harden implemented some swag into him, but I need just like I need heartbreak Bill Belichick, I need
angry JA
because Donovan Mitchell is going to take you to the promised land, but guys like Jared Allen is going to be the thing that could put you over the top. I think back to the 2016 season when the Cavs won the championship, and the reason why that team worked so well, and I think teams should go back to this philosophy. No one wants to play their role, right? No. Tristan Thompson had a very, very good interview. I don't remember if it was before the championship or after the championship, but he had a conversation where he talked about being a superstar in your role. If you can find players that are okay with being superstars in their roles and know their place, that is the recipe to winning a championship. That is the recipe to unlocking Jared Allen's, Evan Mobley's, Tristan Thompson's, Matthew Dellavedova's, because they're not trying to go out of their element. And I think Donovan Mitchell, he's a superstar on the floor, yes, but he's also going to be a superstar in knowing his role and saying, I've got another alpha in here like James Harden. I need to concede here. I need, like when LeBron, I need to concede to Kyrie Irving.
It's what he needed the whole time too, because like I think like every single year in the playoffs, like going back to the next series, onto the Celtics when Donovan got hurt a bit. I think he didn't even play that last game of that series. I could be incorrect about that. And then Pacers last year, it's always like, okay, Donovan just ran us through the whole entire season. He had these nights where he had to go back-to-back 40 nights, right? Like, whatever. Like, and you finally get to the playoffs, and he's pushing. He's giving you everything still. He's playing hurt by that time every single year. That's just everyone is in the NBA, you know? But, like, it was always, okay, Donovan finally, the tank is on E. Who do we turn to? And, like, as much as we love Mobley, like, Mobley never took that leap into being in the playoffs. And I know that James Harden hasn't had the most playoff success in the world, but, like, I feel pretty damn good about James Harden over Garland or Mobley stepping up in a certain moment and being like, okay, hey, we're down by 10 here in the second round against the Magic. Donovan Mitchell's gassed. We need someone to go out there and just ball for 5 minutes until so Donovan can like just rest. Like we didn't have that.
You know what I feel better about with James Harden versus Darius Garland, and you kind of touched on it. I think it's when Darius Garland was on the court last year,
on the ice,
it was always like, man, I already know he's going to be a liability on defense, so I need Darius to come out here and give me 20. Or if Darius is on a shooting night, damn, Darius, I need you to at least go out here and get 8, 9 assists. Or if he's not getting assists, like, damn, Darius, I need you to at least run and operate the offense. If James Harden isn't going to be giving you 20 a night, at the very least, I know that he can come out here and keep the ball moving and rotate.
Yeah, you're going to get a steal or two or something also.
I know that we're going to have a point guard running a competent offense. And even if he's not running the offense, I know that James Harden is probably a better shooter than Darius Garland. Not
100%.
probably, he is. He's what, a top 10 scorer.
He's probably the
in
best
history.
left-handed shooter of all time.
So there's so many other things that the trade-off where it's like, even if you're getting 70% of James Harden, that 70%, I think outweighed what Darius Garland did on an average
Because
night.
truthfully, you're only getting 70% of Darius Garland anyway.
That's what I was going to say. You could be getting 70% of 70% of Darius Garland.
70% of 70% of Darius Garland. But guys, the Cavs are 10 up. They've won 10 of their last 11. They now stand at 34-21 as we head into the All-Star break. Donovan Mitchell in that 3-point contest. I do believe it is on Friday tonight, actually, as we record this show. But guys, there's so much more Cavs to talk about. We'll get into. Hopefully, we're talking about the Cavs in mid-May and in mid-June. That would be tremendous. But guys, that is honestly all we have today for Honor the Land. Zay, if you want to take us out like you always do.
You want me to lead it?
What?
I just see your Paul T. Podesta hat, and I just like,
Oh,
you know,
I was like,
I was worried
are
as well.
you? I was like, is
Delegate.
Spida giving me the rock right now? Like,
you know what? Alley-oop.
Alley-oop.
am I doing it?
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
do it.
yeah.
Here we go, brownies. Here we go.
Thanks for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.